else thought of me. You know, I was afraid to come out and tell people that because the fact that I was already judged being a gay male. You know, I was
Yeah.
already fucked up, you know, with that. So it's like I was afraid to come out and tell people that, and I was afraid to go ahead and live that lifestyle because I was already wasn't accepted. I was already picked on. So I felt like if I would have transitioned back then when I was, you know, staying with my mother and, you know, my family, you know, I felt like it would have been worse. So I waited until I got grown when my mother put me out at 20 years old. And when I was 22 years old, I moved to New York City and I started my whole transition ever since then. I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm tired of holding it. I'm tired of, you know, hiding my true self from people. And I'm just gonna say fuck it. And whatever that comes my way, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. The criticism, the judgmental shit. Like I was already dealing with that stuff being a gay man. But I already knew once I took that step to start transitioning, you know, I was like, okay, Samia, you know, things is going to be different now. You know, things is going to be way worse than before. So, you know, I had to make sure that I was ready. You know, I wanted to make sure I was ready. At the time, I wasn't ready because I was scared. I was scared. I was scared.
Hey,
you know, I was scared.
What made you go to New York versus like San Francisco or Atlanta, Georgia?
Because New York City, because New York City, they have, you know what? Because my friend stayed up here. I had a friend that I went to high school with, and she said, "Come up here. They have good resources, and you know they would help you. They help when it comes to the LGBT community, especially when it comes to the transgender people." And
so it's a lot of New York, I guess.
Yes, it's more supportive up here. A lot of people may not agree with it, but we have a big support system up here, and you know we have a big team behind us, and they help us when it comes to hormone treatments, the psychiatrists, the mental health doctors, the surgeries. They have the Medicaid that helps pay for your surgeries because I got my breast done last year, and my Medicaid paid for everything, which meaning it was free. I didn't have to pay a dime.
Now, my question is, not to cut you off. My question was, the friend that you moved up there with, was they transitioning as well, or was
no?
That
it was
female?
A real female. Okay. It was a real female.
Okay. The next question that I'm asking is kind of to go back to what you guys was talking about, and when you was kind of talking about, you was tired of everything. You was ready to say, you know what, this is the life that I want to live. I want to come out. But if you think about all that stress, all that criticism that you had to take, everything, were there ever suicidal thoughts like after you made the transition into the point that you were? Was it ever that much to where you said, you know what, I don't even want to exist anymore, I'd rather just be dead and be over with it? I
felt the answer to your question, I felt the same way when I was a gay man. I felt, I had those thoughts and I wanted to be here because I was mistreated my whole life. Like, I had a real fucked up childhood.
So
it's like when I was a gay man, it was worse when I was a gay man because I was beat up every day for being gay. I was jumped on.
I thought gay men could fight.
wasn't. Huh?
I said I thought gay men could fight.
Well, at that time I didn't because I was very. How can I put it? I was very weak.
Mm-hmm.
I was a weak person. I was, how can I put it? So many people that ran over me. I'm talking about like literally ran over me because it's a lot of things that I wish I could have changed but you know what? At the same time, I'm happy because it made me a more better person than I am today. I'm so, how can I put it? It made me more defensive now. I'm more defensive to people now. I'm more alert.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know how else to explain it to y'all.
No, I get what you said. My question with asking that was to say, with everything that you had to deal with everything that you had to go through being a gay male and transitioning to becoming a woman, you take all of that now. before when I think Tubbs asked the question, did you want to have a family and did you want to get married and, you know, do those kind of things and have kids? Like, how would you feel about bringing kids into the situation? Even though I understand, I get you painted a very well picture as far as the way that you feel in becoming a woman and living the life that you felt was meant for you. But with the way society is now, everything that you had to endure, bringing kids into that situation, how would you handle that situation as far as with everything that they would have to go through? You know what I'm saying? As far as being brought into a family to where, you know, the situation was what the situation was.
Let me see. Well, when I, have kids, I would tell my kids when they're old enough to understand. And a lot of people feel like because we live a certain lifestyle is that, we're going to turn people out, or, you're going to confuse your kids. No, because I know a lot of parents, I know people that have kids and their kids are straight and their kids still accept them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, yeah. I know a transgender woman, she has a biological son, and he, even though he knows that she used to be his father, he still respects her and call her mom, even though he knows that was his father. That just shows you how much respect that child has for his parent. Yeah. And the answer to your question is, I would tell my child when my child is old enough to understand. I'm not saying that you have to live the lifestyle, because I'm not going to influence my kids. Whatever my child wants to be, I want my child to be whatever my child wants to be, not because what I am or how I decide to live my life. Yeah. Whatever my child wants to be, on his or her own, I'm going to support it 100%. But don't do it because I'm doing it. You feel me? I'm not going to bring that influence on my child just because I'm living a certain lifestyle. Yeah. So I would tell my child when my child is old enough to understand, because when they babies. They don't understand. They're still kids. When my child is old enough to understand, I would tell my child, I used to be, a man. And, I adopted you because I'm not able to have kids. I can't get pregnant. Like, I'm going to be straight up with my child. I'm not going to lie to my child. Like, I'm not going to lie to my damn child and tell my child this and tell my child that.
So with everything, like with everything that's being in the situation, and that's a call coming in. I apologize, listeners. We're trying to do this podcast over the phone. But with everything that's being said right now, would you feel as if bringing a kid in would be a selfish move, or because it's something that you want to kind of make this whole thing feel as natural as possible? Okay, the woman, the kids,
no. I want a child because I like kids. Yeah. I like babies. I get baby fever. I like kids. I like babies. I would never.
Not to cut you off on that, but I got a real quick question. This is like off the wall, but have you ever had pussy before?
No. Wait. Hold on. We got to keep the podcast clean. Hold on.
Of course I have. I even had sex with a trans man, and it was everything.
Tubbs, just rephrase. We already got over much cussing. We're gonna keep it clean, y'all. Clean.
Oh, that's my bad. Well, we was talking about dick and pussy.
No, I gotta edit all that out.
All right, let me just finish the question that Sean had asked me.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
Sean, what were you asking me? What was that last part I said?
Far as like wanting something, okay. You want to make this transition and become a woman.
Okay. You said something about naturally.
Like, do you feel as if bringing kids into the situation would be a selfish act because it's something that you want to complete this, complete your journey? Or would you feel as if, you know what, this is something that because it's going to be backlash with those kids, far as like bringing them into that situation. So with everything that you had to go through, would you spare that? Or would you say, you know what? This is what I want, and we'll deal with whatever we deal with, knowing that might scar them. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how they handle it mentally and how well you equipped them to handle that situation. But would you feel as if that would be a selfish act, or would you feel like, you know what, this is something that I can do, me and the person that I'm with, this is something we can do, and we can raise them through this to get through this situation?
The last answer that you just said.
Yeah, you feel like you
because I don't want a child just because I want to feel like a woman. I want a child because I want a child. I want to give my child the things that I never had that was growing up. I want to love and accept my child and love my child unconditionally because that's something that I never had growing up. Yeah. And I would never put my child through everything that I have been through. I am not going to put my child through it.
I get that.
I want to give my baby the world. Because I had a fucked up life, and I don't want my child going through the same that I'm going through. You feel me? And the fact that that I am transgender, and it's gonna play a big part in my child's life because my child, my father is transgender. Whoa. It's kind of a little fucked up little situation.
It's crazy.
But it's how you raise your kids.
It's crazy. It's crazy as you say it, as you speak it. But since I know you, and I know when you say I want to love my child with everything that I have, I can feel that. I understand that. I really do. I do. I understand that. But at the same time, we was both able to admit that it is going to be messed up. It is going to be. It is crazy challenges. And it is. That's man. It's a tough situation. Either way you look at it, it's a tough situation.
It is.
It
is what it is.
Yeah. The next question I want to ask you, and I always felt a certain way about this question, about this whole situation. When
I think I got a good idea what you about to say, but go ahead and tell me.
I want to know. I want to know, me personally. This is the question that I've been wanting to ask. Do you think transgender people compare that struggle to the black people struggle? Do you think that's a fair comparison?
What do you mean?
Like,
be more specific.
Like I heard a situation where transgender guys saying we suffered the same way, the discrimination the same way the blacks suffered.
Oh yeah, I felt like. Wait, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's completely different, to be honest. I think it is different because we're more judged by the black community. We're judged more by the heterosexual black community than any other race.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no shame because whenever a black person dies, we always say Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. But when a transgender woman dies, it's because he tricked him and he didn't tell the person that he was a man and this and that, and that's why he killed him. And I feel like that's so fucked up because that's not always the case. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. And now in this generation, every guy that that dealt with us knows that we're transgenders. It's these down low ass niggas that's doing all the killing because they don't want their secret to be out, or because they homeboys or they homegirls or their auntie uncles and shit like that find out that they fucking a trans and they want to come back and tell us because their secret have been out. Or if they feel like their secret is going to get exposed, they're going to kill you because the fact that they're not comfortable with their sexuality. And the first thing they want to say when, we're murdered, whatever, I didn't know, she was trans. Yes, the fuck you did. You just didn't want nobody to know your business. You didn't want nobody to know that you get down like that. They don't tell the truth. And I really hate that, that'd be the first thing our peoples want to say, the black community want to say, is that we tricked them. Yeah. That is definitely not true. This is not back in the fucking day. This ain't no back in the day type shit. It's
the only way you can trick a man is if you have an actual vagina between your legs instead of a male organ, right?
That's not always the case either, because they would still find out. You could tell about looking at them. You could tell a difference between a biological woman and a man and a biological man. I mean, it's not that hard to tell.
So you saying
I seen some on Facebook where they transgendered a man into a woman and made her